Hey, good morning. Happy last Sunday of 2024. This is by no means a get ready with me video. It's more or less a chat and reflective video on the last Sunday of December 2024. Reflecting on my grandmothers and the impact they had on my life. You hear this song, Credo in nomine Deo. This is a song that always reminds me of going for mass as children. Sundays, my dad will prepare the four of us. Now, let me remove this thing. I dey wear new clothes. You see, I'm happy with this trouser. When I bought it 2 years ago, it wouldn't fit me, but I'm losing the negative weight and everything. My dad will get us ready for church. We'll go to church. My mom will go to her own church. And that made me a multi-denominational student when I was in school. My roommates used to call me a religious prostitute, but she don't know my background. So mass today, mass today. I'm reflecting on my grandmom and the effects she had on my life. My grandmom was the one who taught us catechism growing up, my elder brother and I. Oh, by the way, I'm making a scarf for my friend. I was in her house yesterday and we were talking about how Christmas here is so different from Christmas in Nigeria. We talked about our nostalgia, missing home. So I'm going to make her a scarf with Nigeria's colors. And maybe each time she wraps it around, she will think of home and feel comforted by her thoughts. Because as we are in the diaspora, people forget that we yearn for home. Everything is not just about the money we make. Everything is not just about, eating burger and speaking sopre. You can set up a community in the diaspora. There are many communities, Nigerians in the UK, which is being headed by the great Oluomo of Dabi. There is also Home Health Professionals, a WhatsApp group, which I set up in 2017. It was actually set up for Nigerian GPs who were preparing for our final exams, because I passed my exam one touch in 2017. And when I passed, I knew that so many of our Nigerian doctors were struggling to pass exams. So I formed this WhatsApp group. It was made up of 5 doctors, mostly in Derby. But then I realized Nigerians are more than doctors, and it's always nice when you have other professions, because doctors sometimes can be very serious. And I opened up the group and we're about 400 and something members on that group, interacting, businessing, and all of that. So you can set up all these groups, but the truth is, you can never have that same feel as being in Nigeria. People say the life of an immigrant. I say no, expatriates. We are expatriates. We came here highly skilled. We need to change our language. So I'm reflecting on my grandmom, the late Lolo, Bridget Odocha. I said I was going to set up a podcast. Maybe I'll do that first week of January, where we can talk about our grandparents and the impact they had on their life. I was lucky to have my grandparents alive until my early 30s. They yearned for the great-grandchildren, but, life had other things in store for us. So my grandmoms, my family are very staunch Catholics. And because of the way I was brought up, my mom not being Catholic, as girls and children, you tend to veer to your mom's own religion or denomination. I found my faith in the university, and that is a story for another day. And I am glad for my ability to think critically and want to find out things by myself. I rarely go by what people say, oh, you're going to idolatry and all whatnot. I believe more in my relationship with God than anything else. When I went back to the Catholic Church, this was in 2005, St. Molumba's Catholic Chaplain's UNEC, my daddy's mom was over the moon. She was so happy. She gifted me a rosary, gifted me a Bible with the canonical books, the ones that have been expunged. She was so happy for me and proud for me. But for me, it was not just finding my faith. It was in the church I began to practice how to sing. Singing the arias, the cantatas, the solos, and it helped me develop my singing talent under the great Ochman or Cheche of UNEC. Those of us that went to UNEC will know him. So, one Christmas, we all went to the village because normally my grandmom lived with us unless she was in America visiting my family in America or my family in the UK. We all went for this Christmas. One thing my grandmother will always do is wake me up first thing in the morning. No gechi, gaje share rice. Gaje share rice, that is go and boil rice. She made sure there was always rice in the pot. I'll say, grandmother, for who? We don't have visitors. She said, Okuzuna compound, and guys sahe gate, onye wala bata wa biari enri. Meaning, you see, this is our big compound. This compound belongs to everybody. Because my granddad's compound was a refuge for the Biafrans who were fleeing the civil war. 1967, 1970s. My grandmom has maintained that tradition. When we come back, we leave the gates open. People come in, people eat. So that day, I boiled the rice, there's always stew. And then we heard the security man screaming, Chupuya, 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 that's chase the person out. And my grandmom came out, Owonye, yes, Owonyara. My grandmother said, open the door, open the door. My grandmother then called me to serve this person. Adoma, that's my name. She gave me Adoma. I said, yes, ma. She said, Bianyonya, come and give this person food. I went and brought a plate, a breakable plate. My mother shouted, Jesus! Oh, Kaladadosh, stop, drop that thing, drop that. Those are my special plates, my expensive china. Don't leave that. My mother even took this now. She prayed over it. My grandmother said, in the church. I laughed. My grandmother said, because we refer from my own cabinet. Because my grandmom had her own cabinet, my mom had her own cabinet. You can tell they were not the best of friends. All this mother-in-law and wife rivalry has always been there. So she gave me a plate. I put food for this girl. I put one meat. My grandmother said, put 2 pieces of meat. I put 2 pieces of meat. I gave this girl. I served her. My grandmother said I should bring water for her to wash her hand because her clothes were torn. You could see, bruises on her face, like she had been beaten and chased out of places. My grandmother came and sat beside her and said, hello, Timere, how are you doing? The girl said, at the mama. My grandmom said, oh, akwokwo. The girl said yes. She was not mad. She just had epilepsy. And because of the stigma associated with epilepsy, the stigma associated with mental illness, the stigma associated with what we don't understand, she had been declared mad in the village. Being beaten from place to place. If she goes to the market, they'll chase her out. Only those who have transcended humanity, who understand that there is a spirit within people you can serve. And I sat watching my grandmother interact with this girl. My elder brother was watching from the stairs and he began to sing, whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. Whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers and sisters, that you do unto me. Least, not the ones in flowing robes and garbs and the rich that we always want to serve. The least. I need to go down for mass now. Like I said, it's not a getting ready with me video. I just put lip gloss. I don't know how to get ready with me or with you. I just put the lip gloss. And then I take the scarf. I made this scarf myself to add some color. I made this scarf. All my crochet work is on Akon Ogechi on Facebook. And this bag was gifted to me by my friend, Dr. Crochet Fosba. I was in her house yesterday. She gave me Nigerian food. My spirit came back. My Nigerian spirit. She gave me this bag. Inside this bag, I've got wool. I'm hoping I can catch up with her today and we can do a crochet health talk session. Catching up with darling friends. Have a blessed Sunday. The last Sunday of 2024. What are our reflections? What are we dropping in 2024? What are we taking with us into 2025? SopranoDoctor loves me and will love you as much as I love me. Thank you.